let's talk about Chris Jericho possibly returning to the WWE. So apparently his contract ends in AEW
Let's go.
on New Year's Eve, free agent. And if he wants to, he could show up on Raw with the Netflix anniversary. He could pop up at the Rumble. But either way, all signs are pointing towards him returning to the WWE after a 7-year absence. So I guess let's start with your thoughts on him potentially returning to WWE. What do you think about that?
Yes, 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 yes. God damn it. I'm a big Chris Jericho fan, bro. I was a fan of when he did the list. I was a fan like when he first came out. When he first came, like it kept saying like the little countdown or whatever. We were like, what is this? You know, why keep doing the countdown or whatever? And then when he finally came, it was like, oh man, Chris fucking Jericho, bro. Big fan of Chris Jericho. Jericho's in my top 10. I don't know about five, but top 10 at least.
Mm-hmm.
I like his charisma. I like his confidence. I like that he's funny. When he was making fun of people's names, like Kurt Angel. Listen, The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Just little things, man. He definitely embodies um promos, man. I don't think I've ever saw a bad Chris Jericho promo, you know. I don't think I ever saw a bad Chris Jericho match, but it's one he talks about that he had with Triple H when Triple H got injured in that match. And he said he was like Triple H is a real one because he was like, "Yo, just do it, just do it." It was I forgot what the finish was. Like the finish was him put him in a lion tamer like on like the announce table or something. And he said when he picked him up, he said Triple H was like, ah, because I forgot what he injured, but he said Hunter was like in pain or whatever, but he still let him like do the finish or whatever. But I hope that's gonna be a for sure thing because I'm excited to see who he matches up with when he comes back.
Assuming that he's going to wrestle,
Hmm.
which I'm assuming that he will.
Oh
And the
hell yeah,
match
for
that
sure.
and the match that you mentioned, that was Triple H and Stone Cold versus Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit on Monday Night Raw.
Hmm.
And that is when Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit, if I recall, won the tag team titles.
Yep.
If they and Triple H tried to make a save to break up a pin, and that's how he tore his quad.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, that was it. That was it.
It spilled to the outside. The plan spot was for Jericho to hit that lion tamer on the table.
Hmm.
Triple H was like, "Go ahead and do it, still do it," and they did it. But that match is a classic. That was a great match. I would like to go back and watch it, but I have a hard time watching matches with Chris Benoit in it. But
Yeah.
maybe one day I'll check it up. I remember it at least to be able to speak to it in such detail.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I digress. Assuming that he's going to wrestle, I mean, first, I'm very thankful for Chris Jericho and what he brought to AEW to help them get off the ground. Him and John Moxley were like the two known named talents that they had when they started until they got CM Punk and business picked up even more then. So
What
shout out to
about your
Chris
boy,
Jericho.
man? What about your boy though? The one angel wing finisher move. What's his name?
Yeah, Kenny Omega, he's big, but
Yeah,
he's
man.
big. He's not big to the WWE crowd.
No, I'm talking about like AEW. He wasn't like a catalyst in that too.
Yeah, him, Cody Rhodes. So let me bring that up. Let me actually rewind. Cody Rhodes is very important as well. Cody Rhodes. I'm talking about for a company that's starting off the ground, a brand new wrestling company.
Hmm.
You're trying to cross over some fans. Like literally a year ago, you were still calling John Moxley Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
So think about that. There's way more use or former use because you're smart. You're smart to the business now, but who are in that casual crowd? So who's this AEW promotion? Oh, they got Chris Jericho. I know who that is.
Hmm.
John Moxley. Oh, it's Dean Ambrose, right? Oh, Cody
Okay,
Rhodes.
gotcha. Okay, okay.
That's what I meant. No,
Yeah.
Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Hangman Adam Page, MJF, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus. I can go on and on with the rest of the phenomenal talent. I know who they are. I've seen them all way before AEW started, right? I've been there, I've seen them live, but a lot of people don't. So
So you're basically
star
talking
power.
about like those two, like Jericho and Ambrose being like WWE superstars, and then crossing over to AEW to like win some people over.
Exactly.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, like when CM Punk finally came to AEW, the promotion got even hotter because it was
Mhm.
building up, right?
Mhm.
If you go and watch the first episode of Dynamite, if you remove Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho from that episode and John Moxley from that episode, you have to get to know all these other talents. Who are these people? Like for those who don't watch the Indies, who don't watch New Japan, who don't watch Ring of Honor, who don't watch old school TNA. I watched all that shit, so I know who these people are. But most people, for the most part, when we're trying to grow a new promotion
Yeah.
off of talent who have not built their names in WWE.
Hmm.
Chris Jericho was like that. He was that guy. He was the superstar. He was the guy. He was the first champion of AEW. The first ever AEW champion was Chris Jericho, which made sense. And then eventually John Moxley got it. Then Kenny Omega took it off of John Moxley because Kenny Omega he was a foreign international superstar, but he wasn't a domestic superstar. I'm sure someone will argue that. Hey, I'm not saying that Kenny Omega's in my top 20, possibly my top 10.
Yeah.
However, I'm gonna call a spade, right?
Hmm.
So Chris Jericho was very important, very instrumental in AEW's success, even landing a TV deal with TNT that they still have to this day. Like Chris Jericho left WWE, he went to Japan to feud with Kenny Omega. So when he left WWE, the first place he went to was New Japan to be the what he called himself, the Painmaker,
Hmm.
to go against Kenny Omega. They had a classic, and then Jericho spent some time in New Japan while AEW was still getting formatted. Even at that show I talked about last week, that show All In,
Yeah.
the tweet that changed the wrestling business,
Yeah.
selling a 10,000 seat arena with no WWE talent.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho made a special appearance there. Did a run in, hit somebody with the code breaker while he was wearing a Penta mask,
That's fire.
right? Because Penta was on that All In show wrestling Kenny Omega
That's
at
fire,
all
man.
360 degrees, my brother, 360 degrees.
Yep. Yeah. And
So
I
anyway,
actually remember that promo too, where Kenny Omega was standing in the ring and they had like some kind of like video promo, and then Jericho finally came on the screen. And I was
yeah,
like, oh, I was like, what did Jericho leave WWE? Like, I was so
yeah.
confused.
His
I
contract
remember that.
expired.
I
He
remember
went to go
that.
do some other things. Yeah. So we can thank him for that. Of course, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho actually was one of the first feuds when AEW started as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, and Jericho did a lot. He immediately on that first episode started a new stable with some young talent and Jack Swagger. Brought Jack Swagger in. His name was Jake Hager at that point. And then he had some new talent, some young talent, created a faction. And then once that faction ended, he created another faction with a bunch of young talent and some ladies. It was the Jericho Appreciation Society. So he started off with his first faction called the Inner Circle.
That's so fire, bro.
Yeah. So his first faction was the Inner Circle, a bunch of heels, him, Jack Swagger. I'm only saying Jack Swagger for those who don't know Jake Hager. Santana and Ortiz, which is Mike Santana, who's in TNA, who was feuding with Trick Williams this past year, and a young kid named Sammy Guevara, who was still there now in his 20s. So they had their faction, had some feuds with a couple of feuds. They were in the first ever Blood and Guts match. That was pretty dope because they became faces eventually. Then he became heel, started his new crew, the Jericho Appreciation Society, because he didn't feel like he was being appreciated.
Jericho
Which had
Society. That's so funny.
yeah. Yeah, so he had a young Daniel Garcia, he had Tay Mello, he had a chick named Anna Jay, he had Sammy Guevara again, Jake Hager again, and this group called 2.0, which was Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, and Cool Hand Ange. Names that I don't expect you to remember, but a bunch of talent that he put under his wing who are now way better known because they were hanging with Jericho and they appreciated Jericho. His whole gimmick was, I'm not a wrestler, I'm a sports entertainer. And the crowd hated that shit. But that's what he was doing, right? That's what he was doing to get heat. Very smart man. Chris Jericho is
He's a genius, man.
That's
He's
a
a
brilliant
genius.
man.
And I don't throw that around like lightly, man. Like he's a genius.
Yeah, so he had that whole thing going on, and he was calling himself the Wizard and throwing fireballs in people's faces, and then he turned face again. He created another stable called the Learning Tree with this young fella named Brian Keith, the bounty hunter, and big guy named Big Bill. Big Bill is, you would know him as Big Cass in WWE.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Big Bill's wrestling in jeans and Timbs, kicking people in the face. So that was the Learning Tree stable, and that's the last time we saw Jericho was with in that stable. He went off TV 6 months ago, and we never saw him again. No explanation, no nothing, just gone. But I'm just saying that I'm saying all that off the top of my head because Chris Jericho did a whole lot in the 7 years, 6 to 7 years that he, gave his time and energy to AEW. So I really, really appreciate that. But
Me
I want
too.
this man, to go into the WWE Hall of Fame.
He better. He better, man.
And
That would be a beyond the injustice that they don't put Chris Jericho in that fucking Hall of Fame, bro.
so, outside of him having some potential matchups, the biggest thing to me is getting this man his flowers and getting him cemented in the Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
I don't want him to be a full-time wrestler. I prefer full-time personality, sure, but I think he can be a special attraction as a wrestler.
I think he could too.
So
Bring him back and let him feud with Cody.
he could do that. He doesn't have to be in the title mix or the title picture. I see him probably wanting to cultivate some more young talent.
That would be fire.
He could easily come back in and do the greatest hits and wear a scarf and do the list again. He can be Y2J, but some tells me he's not going to. Some tells me he will probably reinvent himself like he always does. Even his theme music, I don't want to hear Break the Walls Down. If anything, play some of his Fozzy shit like he was doing in AEW. He had a song called Judas.
That was hard.
Crowds,
It
yeah,
was.
you heard Judas, right? People were.
Yeah.
He's the
It
one
was
who.
hard.
He's the one who got. He's the one who got people singing. Got the crowd singing the theme song once the music goes on. That's Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is the OG. Get this man his flowers.
I just
Yeah,
think they're gonna play off that Y2J though, bro. Because
nah, he's too old. He's too old for Y2J.
I know, but I still think they just that's what fans are used to. They're used to that countdown and something happening or whatever. Like they all go black. And then
Yeah, fuck all that shit.
and he comes out with like the jacket with the lights on it and shit, man. Like I just think it's just that
Nah.
nostalgia. I think that's what's gonna win him over, man. I think they're gonna stick with it. Mark my words. If he is coming
Nah.
back to the WWE, I think they're gonna run with that Y2J shit, bro.
You want to get a nostalgic pop, sure, but I just think it's not. I think no. He is a 56-year-old man coming out to a sparkling jacket, talking about some Y2J. No, I'm sure he can create something even more funny or entertaining.
Yeah.
He's great. He's great at being a dastardly heel if he wanted to be. He can he has a full canvas and a whole roster of new talent that's come since he's left that he can really work with. He can team with CM Punk if he wants. They had a WrestleMania title match. Or he can just say, you know what? What's up with this Austin Theory guy? Let me put Austin Theory over.
Boom! Get out of my head. I was gonna say that. I was like, he reminds me. Austin Theory is kind of like cut from his cloth, but it's just not. He still needs some work.
A lot.
Austin still needs some work to like being confident when he's being arrogant, what I'm saying, or whatnot. But I just really feel like, bro, like we know he could be innovative. We know he could do something different, but people are in love with nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, perfect example, anytime you still put on like an NWO theme song or whatever, like, people are gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just never gets old or whatever. And I feel like the same way with him. You know what I'm saying? Like if maybe not the same song, but if you cut the lights off and have like a countdown, like, we know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? We know what time it is, and they come out, it's just gonna be crazy, bro. But if you just try to come out with like some kind of new music, it still get a pop, but familiarity always wins.
If he comes out to Judas, half the arena will know that song.
But if he comes out to Y2J, everybody gonna know.
Yeah,
Break the walls down.
Yeah, like when Cody showed up at WrestleMania to his music, people knew. People knew because he had built that up for the prior 6 years on his own. That's his music, you know? I just think that, I mean, listen, if they do it, they do it. If they want a nostalgia pop, they can do it. I would just say, come out to Judas instead.
Yeah.
Because he owns that. That's him.
He owns
Come
it?
out. It's a Fozzy song. Yeah.
Well, that would be fire. That would be
Yeah,
fire.
Fozzy. You know, Fozzy, that's his band.
I didn't know that.
You didn't, back in the day when they were promoting Fozzy on Raw, you didn't know that was Chris Jericho? They performed live on Raw.
Very,
you probably forgot because Chris Jericho, he can't sing that good. They have music videos and everything on Raw. Chris Jericho is not a great singer, but that song Judas is fire.
We love you, Chris.
I'll give him that. Yeah, Judas is a dope song. I think he should come out to that and let the crowd sing it. Or they can do Break the Walls Down and all the lyrics that we don't know what they're saying. Do you know the lyrics to Break the Walls Down?
No. Yeah, I'm your Judas and I'm your priest.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the ladies in the arenas going down? Step into the arena and break the walls down. Step into the arena and break the walls down. Oh,
All right.
it was hard, bro.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what they do if they do it, but most people are pointing towards that it's almost certain that he's going to show up on Monday Night Raw. So that being said, all right, let's say he shows up to WWE. Should he just show up on TV? Matter of fact, I do think they should do at least do the countdown, so people will know who it is.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
But don't do Break the Walls Down. Do Judas. Do the countdown, then do Judas, and then never do the countdown ever again.
Yeah.
He ain't got the same hair. He ain't got the same body. He has nothing of the same. Like the man don't even have a physique really anymore. He can still do the lion salt, but not without hitting the ground with his hands first. That's why he started doing that spinning back elbow as his finishing move. Right?
Yeah. Like that was when he got the AEW, that was his new finisher, right?
Right. He did that. And of course he breaks the code breaker out, but you know, he works a smart style now. He ain't doing everything that he used to do. He is in his mid 50s.
The code breaker was a hard move too. When he started doing that, I was like, that was really cool, bro.
Yeah, it was cool. Now Carmelo's doing it, calling the first 48, right?
Carmelo's doing it. Who else doing it? It's like, don't Alexa Bliss do it too?
Not sure.
Liv Morgan do the code breaker?
I thought Liv Morgan did. Yeah, Liv Morgan does it. She does it. I think she does it jumping off the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I like the code breaker. I always thought it was a dope move. So back to what I was saying. Okay. Shows up on TV or shows up at the Rumble. Because if he shows up at the Rumble, he's not winning the Rumble.
No. I think he's a special enough attraction. He don't got to show up at the Rumble. He can just show up at like on TV. And that'll be like...
Yeah, I think he should show up on TV because more eyes will see it. Because granted, Netflix is behind a paywall as well. But I would assume there's more Netflix subscribers than ESPN app subscribers.
I agree. 100%.
And then maybe he can work his way into the Elimination Chamber if he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a name like him, he can say, hey, I want to qualify and be in this too. And why not? Again, depending on what they want to do with him.
Raw, that'll be the best move.
I share the same excitement of seeing Chris Jericho back on Raw. But more importantly, just to see what they can do to kind of break the monotony of Raw in terms of just him injecting some fresh life into new storylines and angles with different talent. Mm-hmm. They can go for the old feuds from the past, but if anything, I think they should just brush shoulders in the back for maybe a backstage segment or something. Hey, good to see you again, whoever I feuded with 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just so much.
And then him being like an asshole, but like, who are you again?
Right. Like, that's why him versus like an Austin Theory or, oh God, Chris Jericho and Logan Paul.
Oh my God. That'd be a great promo, man. Like that.
I don't need a match. I just need the promos.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Logan Paul.
Yeah. Chris Jericho, Logan Paul is, yeah, come on. That's money. He can help build Austin Theory because Austin Theory is not on Logan Paul's level yet. Yeah, Chris Jericho can contribute a lot. And that's the part that kind of annoys me, Tony Khan. See, what Tony Khan does is he just takes people off of TV and they just disappear. There's no like last match. Let's just work with you until your contract ends and have you on TV. Like he's like, oh, you're not going to be here next year. We're going to
Yeah.
take you off TV now. That's what he did with Ricky Starks, but now he's Ricky Saints in NXT. Took that man off TV for a whole damn year before he showed up on NXT. Like, I'm sorry if I'm still paying you. I'm using you on television. Billionaire problems, right? Even Triple H would be like, oh no, I'm gonna use you to the very Ricochet, he used them to the very last minute. That Braun Breaker spear him to death on the outside, taking the
Hmm.
worst back bump on concrete I've ever seen. But
Hmm.
Ricochet did business. And now he's in AEW tearing it up. Shout out to Ricochet, AEW national champion. That's my guy. That's an MVP for 2025 for me.
Yeah, with him, that and Samantha Irvin.
Shout out to them power couple. Hopefully they'll have matter of fact, she came out and sung one of his intros once.
That's fire.
I forgot what show it was, but shout out to her. Shout
Yeah,
out to Ricochet.
beautiful. Yeah, beautiful couple, man. Beautiful couple, man. I always love Samantha Irvin, man. You could tell she legit loved what she does.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Shout out to her.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hmm. So, all right. Well, we'll speculate more on Chris Jericho as the rumors start to speculate. Possibly he might show up before we do our next show, or maybe not. But if he does show up next Monday, we're gonna have a lot to talk about on Tuesday.
Oh,
And what's
for
going to
damn
be
sure. Best
what's
if he
going to
comes
be
out with the break the walls down music, because I hope he
oh
does.
God.
Yeah, I'm your Judas and I'm your priest. I gotta get me a Monday night Jericho t-shirt.
So yeah, see the greatest hits. He'll come out and say, "Welcome to Monday Night Jericho," all that shit. But I just don't want to hear none of that old shtick. That stuff from the 2000s ain't going to work now in 2025, bro. These people growing up.
Yeah.
Okay, just like Rock coming back saying Rudy Poo Candy Ass. You can't say that. No, get out of here. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. No, stop it. Stop it. Come out, Judas. Have your little spike jacket on. Have your baseball bat if you want to. Make sure you got some good pyro. And get in that ring and talk some shit to Austin Theory. Let's try to build this man up. I think him and Logan Paul, that'd be great. Braun Breaker. Hell, Jericho could be like, hey, I beat up your father and your uncle plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
What's up, Paul? Good to see you again. You worked with Paul when Jericho was in ECW. Like, there's, right?
Yeah.
Back when the Shield was just a little itty bitty Shield, Jericho was working with him, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of things they can do if they want to do that. But I'll digress. I'll let you have your break the walls down moment if they do it. I won't hate on it. I just think they could do better, but I won't hate. They do it. This is all gravy.